What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Evolve Your Fitness podcast. And this week, I'm lucky to be joined by Jesse Bifano, who is what I would call an elite affiliate owner, but he also has trained multiple games athletes over his time as a coach, and has been coaching for, how long have you been coaching CrossFit for?
The gym's been open for 17 years this fall. And then I was coaching CrossFit for a year or so before that. So I think it's been 18 years of coaching. And then I started CrossFit 21 years ago, maybe.
Okay. Wow. So you started in
05.
Okay. Wow.
Just before Christmas in 05. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. I just dusted off my I'm trying to design this wall back here and put some fun stuff up there, and I dust off my very first L1. April of 2011. So
yeah, sweet.
So not quite as haven't been in the game quite as long as you, but yeah.
I think my L1 was Dave, Dr. Mike, Nadia, Big Curtis.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rob Wolf actually did and then Rob Wolf did the nutrition talk actually.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I had Nadia.
Yep.
And Pat Sherwood.
Oh yeah, cool.
And then I don't know who the other one was, like a small redheaded girl, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And I don't know who the last one was, but I remember Nadia and Sherwood. Yeah, I still drink coffee only because of that seminar. Like my very first Starbucks coffee drink was a Americano with heavy whipping cream and 2 pumps of sugar-free vanilla. And I had it. And then like that combined with the atmosphere of the L1, it just has created like such a good feeling in my mind that I still love that drink to this day. And like if I go to Starbucks, nice. That's exactly what I'm getting. I didn't even drink coffee before that day. So
yeah, right. Game changer.
Yeah. So
tipping point.
Yeah, good stuff. I love the L1.
Yeah.
Well, today we're here to talk about kids class. You have some really cool kids class stuff that you do on that I see on Instagram, and I've been following you for quite a while. I'm trying to think about the first time I actually heard about you. I remember I went to the Conjugate Fitness or Conjugate Strength CrossFit seminar down in
Shane seminar. Yeah, great.
Yeah. And then I from there I kind of started to follow his page and started to follow different people. And then actually I think I didn't even find you until you guys had the podcast.
Oh yeah.
I started listening to it, and then I just like started following every person that was on the podcast. And over time we've gotten to know each other. So yeah, it's been great. There's a lot of really cool stuff that you do that I think if every affiliate owner paid attention to what you do, not on the games athlete side, but on the affiliate owner side, we'd have a lot more successful CrossFit gyms.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate
that. Yeah. So let's start off with, sorry. The icebreaker question. Did you train today? And if you did, what'd you do?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sunday, dynamic upper. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
what'd you have? What'd you do? What movement?
Well, so we actually replaced, for the most part now, we actually use repetition method on dynamic upper day instead of speed work, with the exception of some athletes. I mean, one of our girls fights in UFC. She's still heavy on the bands for repetition or for dynamic. But for us, actually, we've had a lot of success in repetition and volume work as a primary piece. So this was our week 5 of 5. So we'll do a 5-week cycle, and we'll do the first 2 weeks are 8 sets of 8 on the 2 minutes 15. And the third week is 8 sets of 6 on the 2:15. And then we drop to 5x5 for 2 weeks on the 2 minutes. And it's a really high volume, and kind of like, I mean, yeah, it's been successful. It's been really successful for us.
Yeah.
Like it's what we've used for all of our athletes. I mean, we've had no injuries, issues, or like nagging stuff, no detriment to the max effort on Wednesday. And it's moved the needle. Like it's pushed everyone's benches up. I mean, and so today was our week 5 of floor press, which I'll be happy to move past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Floor press is not your favorite, or?
I like floor press, but the volume on floor press is just real spicy, right? Like the sets are drawn out for their time. So as soon as you get like, if you're putting a good solid pause at the bottom of each rep, those like 8 sets of 8 with a pause on the floor.
So, yeah, that's a lot.
I mean, 64 reps is a lot.
Yeah, 215 comes real quick.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So I did that, and then accessory was like seal rows into. We moved our midline work, especially on a Sunday, to like more of the middle. So we'd go so it was seals, and then accessory midline piece, and then more accessory work, and then little spicy finisher with tries and face pulls. All in, all done.
Nice.
Hour and a half.
And that's on your powerlifting side of the house, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Because you have two different sides, right? One's like CrossFit side, one's powerlifting.
Yeah, we've got the lifting side, and then inside of there, we've also got like a mountain athlete program that exists. And then we've got the CrossFit side, and then we do high rocks now like 3 times a week. And that's actually been a pretty successful piece for us as well.
Okay. Yeah. You just finished up a mini high rocks thing yesterday, right?
Yeah. I got roped into it. I think I was poisoned by fitness yesterday.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm walking better today than I thought I was going to.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did a sim yesterday morning, followed by high rocks 100, which is like less volume. Like I think it took us like about 32 minutes.
Okay.
And it's like a 1K run with a bunch of those pieces jammed between, but not all of them.
Okay. That's cool. I did like every 2 minutes, 1 hang power clean plus 1 hang squat clean. And then I had to like simulate a partner workout because I never have a partner. I do all my workouts kind of solo.
You did a simulated partner workout?
Yeah. So
like Snuffleupagus.
Yeah. So I just I figure out about how long it'll take me, and I just set the clock for double that, and then the goal is to beat. So every 230, 5 power cleans, 185, 70-foot sled drag with 3 plates, like reverse with the handles.
Oh yeah.
And then 5 wall walks, and do that every 230. And my goals were just to go unbroken on the power clean, try to make it a little bit harder.
Yep.
And then obviously stay below half that time. So
yeah.
6 rounds of that. So yeah, blew that up, and then did some V-ups while I was picking up the equipment just because I was bored, and here we are.
Yeah.
So
easy day.
Yeah. All right. So what's one thing you think you do differently in your kids class than almost any other CrossFit might do, or other kids class just in general?
Strongman stuff, I suppose.
Okay. Then that's a huge piece for you, right? Like you love mix that in with the kids.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's been one of the funnest. I mean, it's really fun and / also adorable. So the like our youngest groups are 4 or 5. We have a 4 or 5 age group, and then a 6, 7, and then a 8, 9, and then a 10 to 12, and then we get into our teens group. So with our youngest groups, I mean, focus on like push, pull, drag, carry, throw, catch, like run, jump, all those sort of pieces. But we've taken our strongman stuff and then made scale models of each of those pieces.
Okay.
So we've got like mini sandbags that look like the traditional Iron Mine sandbags. We got mini prowlers. We got like strongman logs that we actually built from like the sauna tubes. Like, you know, the cardboard you pour like the like cement posts with.
Okay. Yep.
So we took those and made them and like just put like Gorilla Tape on the outside, so they're black, same as our logs, and then put wooden handles on the inside, so it like functions exactly like a log does, but they weigh like 5 pounds, I think, 7 pounds each. Okay,
nice. Hey, is my picture coming through on your side?
Yeah, I've got looks like I'm frozen on my side.
Okay, as long as we got the audio, that'll work. Yeah, that's cool. It's funny that you say the Iron Mine sandbags, and I think of I'm like, oh, the Strong Fit sandbags. It's funny generationally how you can be different and think that that's the first time it's ever come about.
Yeah, totally.
Let's see here. So what's your favorite implement then to use? Did you say that you have mini sleds for the kids?
Yeah, we made tiny little prowlers.
Oh, that's awesome. How'd you do that? Out of PVC or?
No, we built Mount Steel.
Oh, man. That's
We
right.
got
You're
a
handy as all get
bunch
out.
of welders and so they're proper steel sled. They look exactly like the like old school like butcher, like Rogue Butcher.
Mm-hmm.
But tiny little like kid size version.
Man,
like I think the smallest one is like maybe 20 inches in length. Like it's little.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. That's we usually, because we just have regular sleds, if we do sled pushes, it'll be like partner sled pushes.
Yep.
Or we'll just, if we do drags, we'll just take the handles and feed it through a plate and have them drag the plate, because it's otherwise a 90-pound sled's a lot for we start ours at 6 years old. We go 6 to 12.
Oh yeah, sweet.
Yeah. And you said your age groups were 4 to 5, 6 to 9,
6, 7,
6, 7,
and then 8, 9, and then we've got the like 10 to 12 group.
Okay. Wow. All right. You got a lot of kids classes. What's your cap on that for how many kids in each class?
I'm going to try switching this camera around here.
Okay.
Let me see if I can help.
I can see something now.
Yeah. Let me see if I can go to another camera.
Perfect.
See if that'll balance there.
Boom.
Just like that. Backup gear.
Yeah.
Sorry, say again.
Do you have a cap for each class, or how many kids you take on at a time?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, for kid stuff, we've got like the youngest groups are like 8 kids, and then we'll have 2 coaches. And then the 10 to 12 group is 12 kids, I think. And same as our teens group as well, is also 12 kids. That's a 13 to basically graduation.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we do, 12 for ours. We found that anything more than that, and it just drastically reduces what you can get done. And you spend more time corralling them than anything.
Yeah.
Do you cap your regular classes too? Your CrossFit classes?
Yeah.
Is it 12 then for them too?
No, actually we do 10 on the CrossFit side.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. We cap it. We do 15 on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 16 on partner Wednesday, because it creates an even number. Yeah. And then we just do completely open on Saturday. Okay. So I don't know if I asked this yet. What's your favorite implement to use with the kids?
Yeah. I mean, I really like the carries. So getting them to be able to carry or drag are pretty fun ones. But also like the piece of like having them throw and being able to work on like those sort of pieces. I mean, throwing, catching, jumping, running all seem to be like lagging currently, like as a
like
group
this group of
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're doing a little more of that than we have in the past. Like struggling with like 2-foot jumps and stuff like that, like real base pieces. So we've really focused a lot more on like those sort of pieces and tried to implement just a little bit more of that. So, I mean, honestly, my favorite thing is like whatever the right tool for the right job is. Like whatever we're dealing with, like just making sure that like, is it getting the results we want? Like there's been semesters where we focus a lot on like sumo deadlift with the kettlebell, or like kettlebell goblet squat, because we've got kettlebells down to like, I think 4 kilo. So
okay. Yep. Well, us too. This is like 9 pounds ish.
Yeah.
Yep.
So just being able to get them moving with just a little bit of object. I mean, they're lifting in their own time anyway, like backpacks or whatever they're up to, wherever they find. So because that, I mean, we might as well do a little bit of that work. And honestly, like most groups will have no problems picking up things like sumo deadlift and just being able to do that kettlebell piece. So like it's super fun. I mean, that's a pretty classic one for us. Some balance work, like we use slack blocks in a lot of classes, and being able to implement that is just a base balance piece. And then the more skilled the group gets, the more we start implementing like being able to balance on the block with 1 foot and then passing a ball. And we'll use like lacrosse ball, softball, basketball, like whatever kind of like just switch it up to make sure that it's staying like they're kind of staying excited about it and trying hard. I mean, yeah, there's a piece where there's like a balance between buy-in and what they're excited about, and then what we need to accomplish.
Yeah, no, it's it's constantly evolving. That's how we have been doing ours too, right? It starts off as your goal is to accomplish probably a little more, and it's a little more structured, and then you're like, okay, maybe we need to start to like make them work without knowing they're working and stuff like that. That's cool. I like the slack block idea. I'm interested. Do you think why do you think that the catching and throwing is missing? You think, I mean, I have theories on it. My guess would be just because kids don't get to do as much free play, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Way more time on the phone, way less time in sports, certainly in schools. It's just not, I just don't think it comes up the same way it used to. I mean, adults still expect kids to be able to skip rope, but you're like, based on what?
Yeah.
What kid is skipping rope now?
We encountered that too. The kids don't do it in grade school or middle school anymore.
No, not at all.
I think as a whole, and you're up in Canada, I guess I should preface that for everybody, but down here in the US, it seems like we've gotten more, less neighborly, right? Like people are more protective over their land. So when I was a kid, you could run through anybody's yard, do all kinds of stuff like that, which in looking back on it now, I get like a little embarrassed, but like back then it wasn't a big deal. And you might go and like pick up walnuts or apples and chuck them at a fence post or whatever. But
yeah, totally.
You do that now in a yard that's not yours, and somebody's probably coming out and yelling at you, or
that kind of play just seems to exist a lot less.
It's like,
I mean, everything evolves and changes, but there's some pieces that I feel like are simple enough to introduce. And honestly, like, I mean, on Thursday last week, we just did a basic softball pass. So I stood in one spot. I put out, I think, 15 lines, all 2 feet apart. They picked whatever line they wanted to like try from, and they had to like catch a pass, throw the ball back. And if they caught it and pass it back to me without having to take a step, they kind of cycled back to the back of the line. If they dropped the ball or their pass was too crazy, then they had to run out to the street and back.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Kind of like, I mean, they stay kind of fired up about that I thought that would be a couple minutes of work. And then they were kind of fired up about it and getting a bunch of running in, throwing, catching. Great. So we ran after, I think we did like 10 minutes of that. I got a jammed up finger from some of those kids can definitely throw.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's it's fun. Some of them can really whip it. Depends on if it's value, that's another thing as you get older too. I grew up in a small town where like everybody played the main 3 sports, right? Basketball, football, and baseball. So throwing is just so natural to me. And like, if somebody can't throw, it's like, are you crazy? But then as I got older, I moved to a bigger town. There's a lot more sports out there, and some people never touch those ball sports where you're throwing and catching.
Yeah.
And so that's a whole nother thing. But I think it's important for everybody to know how, obviously.
Well, yeah. And this area is also unique in the sense that, like, I mean, a lot of really athletic youth are spending predominantly their time riding bikes for sure, skiing, snowboarding, climbing, like doing a ton of these like outdoor pursuits. Like those are the big pieces for sure. I mean, biking is huge here. And so then it's less ball sport options even.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. That brings up a point I always think about when I hear people who comment on the games and stuff talk about athleticism. And I sometimes think that in the States we have a myopic view of athleticism and think it's only running and jumping and changing direction quickly. But, you put some of our best athletes on a bike and put them on the side of a mountain. Yeah. They are off that bike and on their sides crying in like 5 feet,
Bike skills are also need development through a lot of years.
Yeah. Or even just, like myself, like a flip turn. If I try to do a flip turn in the water, I'm going to come up like water in my nose. Sweet God, somebody save me. So it's interesting what you focus in on athleticism for different areas of the world. And, all of it matters. Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a big thing, especially being an affiliate. Like, you've got your sort of geographic region, country, like culture of your town and the environment you're in. You're going to have things that are like stronger and weaker in every environment. I mean, we're really good out here at like endurance, which means the strength is like a big opportunity for the athletes here. So a lot of that focus for us is strength training, even at the like kid youth level, because that's the biggest opportunity for growth, because kids are, riding their bikes a couple hours like a night, and racing on Wednesday nights and then racing again on the weekends. And whether that's BMX or downhill or like enduro, or there's a ton of opportunity here for that kind of stuff. So, you just look for those opportunities to like fill the gap. Cause I think as affiliates, we all try to be as helpful as we possibly can.
No, that's really cool. That's a good lesson for any affiliate to learn, is finding out what your region's good at or whatever, and how you can complement it as best as possible. I like that, because a lot of people would think, well, we're really big on endurance here, so you know what I should do? An endurance class.
Totally.
Like, how can I complement? Do you do semi-personal training with kids then too and stuff like? Okay.
I mean, the culture here for sure. Like, I've got a handful of 18 unders that I work one-on-one with. Not really remotely, but in person in the gym, for sure. Like, we've got a bunch of kids who are like, athletic. I mean, we just had our first 2 youth go to the Winter Olympics.
Oh, wow.
First athletes showing up at like that Winter Olympics level.
That's incredible.
And that's a lot of, I mean, one of the girls I worked with for the last 5 years or so, one-on-one. And then the other girl was actually part of our teens program, which is very cool. So yeah, it's crazy watching them compete. I mean, they're both very young, and watching them compete at the Olympics, you're just like, like, and those sports are like, I mean, winter sports are, I mean, you think about that as like the kid you've been working with, and you're watching them out there bearing down on like big slopes with a ton of exposure. You're like, ooh. He's a sweaty hand sitting on the edge of the couch watching.
And those are kids that you that are organic, that you trained up from when they were younger and everything too.
Yeah. We've had, I mean, Tegan now is like one of the first. I mean, she's generation 1 CrossFit Kids with us. So, I mean, she might have been with us for like 15 years or so. Like,
oh, really?
She goes back
and coming up through the kids program too and everything.
I came up through the kids program the whole way, and then started working with her one-on-one when she was elite level BMX. So she was a world 2 at one point, and now in the last year and a half, switched from BMX for an Olympic bid on velodrome. So she's switched to that sport. So I don't do much with her these days. She's out east and training in their camps there. But but I mean, she was with us from like 2010 maybe ish, like plus minus.
Okay. Yeah, that is so cool.
Yeah, very
yeah. Any kids that I've had come up through, I mean, we haven't had our kids program going long enough, but we've had kids who started when they were 16. I had one kid who started when they were a little bit younger, that personal training, and then when they got a little bit older, just got into my regular classes, and just watching them grow up and graduate and become adults and responsible adults. It's so cool to see, regardless of their goals.
But absolutely. Like, regardless of if they, I mean, it's super special. I mean, I don't have any kids of my own, and it's a pretty cool connection piece, like getting invited to graduations, or like, I mean, the last couple of years, the kids will come over to the gym and make sure they get a photo of them in their like graduation, like gowns and cap and gowns and stuff.
Oh, man,
and so great. Like I'll keep the photo and like get it printed and put it up on our board and stuff like that. And I mean, it's really common that, like, one of the things that I'm really proud of with that is those kids go on to university or move away and come home for Christmas. And if they're home for Christmas, they're back in the gym. So they'll jump in on classes or lifting, and and when they go away and they're like, oh, I ran into like such and such who's also at the same university in the gym.
Yeah.
And so it just becomes part of like becomes part of their lifestyle. And I mean, that's the real primary piece. Like, it's one thing to focus on like that, like, highest end, and what you can create. It's another thing to be like realizing the opportunity to change people's long term of just like what their impression is of fitness and what it means in their life. Because sometimes when you start working with adults and they're getting into CrossFit and those sort of pieces, it's great. But it can be like, well, I was told by my doctor that I should do more CrossFit, or I was told by my physio that I'm not very strong. And so they feel like they need to be there and they're supposed to be, versus like, if you can bring a kid up through the, like over the years as well, they develop where they just learn that fitness is just part of what they do. It's not what they have to do. It's what they like to do. So they'll go with their friends to the gym, and it's a really cool piece. It's awesome to see them grow up. I mean, we have kids I worked with 12 years ago who, when they come home for Christmas, just pop into the gym, just even to say hi and like check in, and you see them like stuff on Instagram and you're like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I was going to add as a caveat there, you're lucky if you've got their doctor and their physio telling them to come to you. Because a lot of times it's even the opposite, where you can get somebody who likes it and their doctor and their physio are like, oh, you got to stop that, this, that, and the other thing,
Yeah, we're pretty lucky. I mean, Squamish is a very unique place for sure.
Yeah.
We're very fortunate. Yeah, very good like healthcare practice, and the doctors, physio, everyone here is very, very high level.
Yeah, we're lucky. We have one of my clients. I own the building that we're in, and he now rents space for me and started. He's a physical therapist.
Oh yeah.
And so he now runs his own practice out of next door. So
yeah,
we know that we can send people to him, and he understands what they're doing, how they need to change it, and everything else like that. It's awesome. It works perfect hand in hand. So
yeah, huge value there. Like we've got a full clinic, so we've got 3 treatment rooms inside of the space, and have like 3 full-time massage therapists, 1 chiro, 3 physio, who all operate inside the gym environment, train with us, like are part of the culture. And like the difference that makes is massive for even just, especially if you're the one programming, is in the feedback you can get for like, hey, we're seeing a lot of people coming in who are like, their hips are pretty beat up, or they're feeling this, or I've got more of these than usual. And then you can go back, look at the programming, think about like, do you need to change anything? Did you miss anything? Is that what you would have predicted given what you've been up to? It's really,
awesome.
Adds another layer to the data inputs for programmers.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let me go on to, I guess, no, I'll stick with her questions. If you had to choose one movement to include in every single class, what would it be?
For kids,
jumping, squatting, anything, crawling movements, animal crawls.
Yeah, right. Totally. I mean, one movement for every single class. Oh man, sumo deadlift.
Really? Man, that's I didn't see that one coming. Okay, I like that.
I mean, if you had to pick only one, you need something that's going to be broad in its dose, be able to be loaded light and heavy, and be valuable for both. Have application that's practical. So, I mean, of all the patterning, I mean, sumo deadlift.
Okay, nice.
I know people hate it, but
no, that's all right.
That's what I would add.
That focuses on the hips, the legs. It's a little more
strong back.
Yeah, a little more balanced about the legs, I would say, than like a normal deadlift. Right, it hits the front and the back a little bit. Backs, strong hands. I would probably pick, in my opinion, a D-ball clean, which starts with a sumo deadlift. In fact, I feel so strongly about that Mondo, the company that makes D-balls, I order from them directly, and I ordered a 10 and a 12 pounder for my sons. So my one son's turning 4 in July, and so he can now pick the 12 pounder up and put it on his shoulder. The one day carried it all the way up the stairs from the basement. I did not ask him to do that.
Yeah.
It just was sitting on the top of the stairs. I was like, where the hell did this come from?
Yeah.
And Ashley was like, that was your son. He brought that up the stairs. I was like, oh my God.
That's what's so awesome though, right? Like the idea that kids are like, they can meet the challenge or like make a challenge for themselves. Like parents send me videos all the time of like prowler pushes of the kitchen chair, like across the kitchen floor, and like kids like, oh, my kids are just upstairs with their friends teaching them burpees and they're just playing burpees right now.
Yeah.
And you're like, fantastic. I mean, that's great. Like and kids I think do really great to be challenged. And so if you can give them a challenge, like some of the stuff with like, especially like, the D-ball, I mean, we have like mini Atlas stones. So I ordered like the smallest mold Steve Slater makes. And so we've got like 20-pound and 40-pound Atlas stones. And between them, sandbags, I mean, dregs. So we've got like the classic, like marching pull sleds as well. And we attach like a 1-inch like poly rope to it. And then learning they're like how to coordinate and work together is like one of the cool things to sort of see, where like the plates get to, if they start pulling as individuals, eventually the weight exceeds what an individual can do. And then they learn that like, if they pull together, they can like drag heavy weight across the floor. And then how to coordinate that, and like going through like, okay, you kind of let them try and work and figure it out. And then being able to like give a suggestion like, hey, what if on the next time I tried, if I say 3, 2, 1 pull and you all pull at the same time, does that work better? And they can figure that out. They're like, okay, what if the person at the front now, if they call it instead of me? And then you're like, got this group of 8 kids. Like, I think a little while ago, we did a tug of war where it was me versus the class of 8, 9-year-olds. And it was hopeless. I couldn't win.
Really? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Like, it takes less. Like there's a number of kids. Like there's a X amount number of kids required to overpower an adult.
That's
it's less than you'd think.
That's like one gorilla for 20 men or whatever.
Yeah, totally. So, the gorilla's going. I mean, not everyone's gonna make it, but that gorilla will lose.
Oh man, that's great. You love team oriented stuff a lot of times too in the kids class, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that like just that idea of like, what they could do when they function as a group. And then even just learning those communication skills. I mean, communication, creativity. I mean, we'll focus on, we'll do build a castle, usually like twice a year, where we use all the gym equipment and make a castle. And the fitness of that day is like carrying all the things around. But really it's just about like them just being creative and thinking. And just being like, what if we build a tower? How do we do this? And you get to see them like, I mean, it's popular enough that the last time we did it this spring, I actually made a proper drawbridge out of wood and then had that can mount onto the. Oh,
you can put it at the very end.
It mounts on the racks now. So we got a rack mountable drawbridge that added a whole like Grayskull level to the castle building. But it's really like they love it. They look forward to it. They ask about it all year long because it's like, and it's just a great opportunity for them to like, physical play, and also that creativity, communication, collaboration. Those things feel like real important. Yeah.
Do you think that's unique to your area because a lot of the sports that are popular are solo sports, or? Is that like another complementing thing?
That could be for sure. Like, just that opportunity. I mean, we still have all the for the most part, like, still got basketball and soccer and volleyball, but just think less so, especially relative to countries like the US where those team sports, especially things like football or baseball, are huge, right?
Yeah. We're our town is like a huge club sport town. So they play a ton of team sports a lot of times.
That's really cool. Like, I mean, that's awesome. We had a group of hockey kids that I worked with for the first time. So this last winter, I had a U13 hockey group that I worked with every Tuesday night from September to March. And they actually ended up winning provincials for the first time ever
Nice.
Which is super cool. Yeah. But yeah, you can see the difference. And like when you get a group like that, they were actually fantastic at kind of like working together as a team, encouraging each other, which is pretty awesome. I mean, they got dosed pretty hard sometimes, and they would like, you'd hear them like encouraging, think about why we're doing this, and would give each other encouragements, which is pretty awesome. But then, yeah, in general, I think for like Gen Pop kids, yeah, it's a really great opportunity to have them like, and you never know, like some kids, I think, surprise themselves with being like, oh, you could see that they're like tentative at the start and then kind of get into it and then turn out to be good at it. And that's something you can see them being surprised. And it's just such a great opportunity to be like, oh, they really enjoyed that part. Or, you see kids get less shy and be able to work with others. And I mean, kids can be sad sometimes when they miss the kids class for a birthday.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah, I like that. That's probably something that we haven't talked about a lot is team stuff. I know our kids love relay races, like silly relay races, but they absolutely just love it. I can't even remember it. And it's like, it's stuff that I wouldn't have even thought of, which is like, the ones where you start on the ground and you have to do a burpee to start the relay and run down on one foot, or hop down on one foot, hop back, and bear crawl down, bear crawl back. And I know that's a big popular thing for our kids class.
We'll do that with like do you remember Mastermind, like the really old like board game?
Oh, that might be older than me.
That's fair.
I'm sorry, and I'm pretty old. I'm 38.
The Mastermind, essentially, one person has like 5 colored pins hidden behind a barrier, and you get your guesses, and they'll let you know which one's correct and which one's not. So you move it forward. You try to get your 5 colored pins the same as the hidden colored pins in as few rounds as possible. So we'll do that with like the kids classes. So we'll have 5 colored cones hidden behind a bench laid flat, and then we'll just put X's out on the floor on the other side of the bench. And they have those same colored cones, and we'll go 2 teams head to head. We have to run down, place a cone, run back. And we'll do that with kettlebells sometimes because the colors all coordinate. But they can end up having where they have to like do a burpee before they start, do a couple squats before they start, or the whole group has to do a like synchro burpee before one person comes down. And like, and I mean, again, a good chance to like learn strategy, right? Because you get kids who go down, place a green cone, come back, and then the next kid runs down with a blue cone. And you're like, hey, if you switch colors every time and you're not paying attention, you end up telling the kids, still no.
Yeah.
Which is when they've guessed the same color on the same spot several times.
It's good for them to practice that. I know our other really popular game is like tic-tac-toe with the medicine balls.
Yeah, sweet. Yep.
Yeah. So they love that. You go up and over a barrier with the ball and bring it down, put it down, and they can't see the tic-tac-toe board normally from where they're standing. So
that's sweet. Yeah,
you can't react until you get there.
Yeah, that's cool. We tic-tac-toe and Mastermind are probably our most popular like kids ones. And PVC, they like the PVC pipe circle, which is like
left, right.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
We I'm not sure if because we have kind of a big age group, sometimes 6 to 12, sometimes that makes for the same poor kid to always, so I'm not sure if we do that one as much. But we've definitely played around with it. I know one question I have for you, and I know you do this in the adult classes. And so anybody who's listening for my adults or my kids class, do you do this with the kids class, the Lego challenge game?
Oh yeah. We haven't done it with the kids group actually. And that's on my list for this summer. It's been a while since we did the Lego chicken. And so,
sorry, do you want to explain, or would you like me to?
Yeah, no, it's like for us, the way we do it is every person in their square. So we'll tip over like the 24-inch boxes, and you'll have a fixed amount of Lego pieces. All of them end up being used. 3, 2, 1, go. You're going to run out. I mean, we've done different ways. So we'll run like a 200 meter, and you come back in, but you come in through the far door for us. And then when you come in that door, there's a completed version of what you're trying to create in Lego.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to memorize as much as you can with whatever makes sense. And then you make your way through a handful of obstacles back to your square and then assemble that whatever it is. I mean, we've done chicken and we've done a watermelon. Mm-hmm. And watching people have to work through it, because a lot of people, it's not uncommon for people to try to memorize everything.
Which is probably the wrong way to go.
Which is just rarely pays off. Yeah. Versus like being like, hey, I just need to get like a couple pieces and accept this is X amount of rounds from completion. Yeah. And so we haven't done it with the kids, but I really like to. Yeah.
And then every time that they want to look at the example, they have to go back
out the run, look at the example and through an obstacle course again. Yeah. Usually that day doesn't end without tears.
I'm mad that I haven't done that yet before I had you on the podcast, actually, now that I mention it.
I mean, overall, you're going to get someone who blows your mind with how fast they get it. A lot of people who have a great time, some people have an okay time, and one person who quits. And I mean, I think that's pretty good numbers.
Yeah. Do you, cause this, I do this every day on normal workouts. Do you ever have stuff where you step in and you're like, hey, just go back to the obstacle course and skip the 200?
Yeah. No.
Oh, no.
You see it through. Once you load the bar, I mean, you put the weights on the bar, you lift it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. No mercy.
No, unless you quit. Then you can always quit and just rest in child's pose. Well,
do you make them ring a bell or anything like that?
Yeah,
just sit in the corner with a cone on their head.
Just child's pose. They just rest in child's pose, giving up, quit.
I'm actually, now that I mentioned, I'm thinking like, now that we have kids, we have big Lego blocks, not the small ones that actually would work well for the kids class.
Mm-hmm. It'd be super fun.
Actually, it probably worked well for the adults class. I don't know the last time some people, I mean, I love Legos. I still do Legos, but I'm a fucking child. So not everybody's like me.
No. Some people, I mean, we had one girl who wasn't from our gym. She was just dropping in and she called time on one lap. And I was like, no. And I went to look, I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, she got it. And she's like, yeah, I do those weird fitness races where you have to memorize stuff and then run up the mountain and recite poetry and
oh my gosh, so you were
legit got it in one lap. And I was like,
what are the chances of your dropping
totally
that person?
Well, yeah, because I started off, I was like, man, I hope this person doesn't have a terrible time.
Yeah
And turns out they have an unbeatable score.
It's funny. That's a whole nother conversation, like drop-ins, because I know you run your gym quite differently than I would say a lot of other gyms do, right?
Yeah, probably.
And so handling drop-ins and having unique stuff and even just unique movements that people have never heard of, like we do lateral skiers a lot. I don't know if you ever do those, like on the bench where you go side to side and one foot stays on top of the bench.
Yep.
I'll mix those in because it gives us a little bit of lateral movement that we don't normally encounter in CrossFit, and I just think that's crazy important, regardless of if it gets tested in the open or whatever.
Totally. Not everything has to be a direct correlate or a direct feeder, right?
Yeah. Do you mix target practice in with the kids at all? The kids class? I guess basically the way you describe the softball throw that's target practice.
We get some of that. We will actually set up stuff. So we'll set up like a row of foam rollers. Mm-hmm. And you have to you'll get one shot at knocking over a foam roller with we've got dodgeballs and softballs and crossballs, basketballs. Mm-hmm. So we'll do that. We generally once a year, we'll do dodgeball biathlon. And so we'll set that up for the kids as well. So dodgeball biathlon is like, for the adults, it's like 5 rounds, 400-meter run with your dodgeball. You come in and you get 5 shots on 5 targets. And it's a like car tire hung in the pull-up bar rack.
Okay. Yeah.
And the distance is maybe like about 15 feet. And so you get 1 shot per target. You make your way to the other side. So 5 shots later. And then, for every one you miss is punishment. So it's like, we've used like air squats. We've used kettlebell swings. We've used push press and a good dose. You can end up doing, I think we've done like 25 air squats per miss. So there's a real chance you could do 125 air squats a round.
That's awesome. the way I usually do it is on a Saturday, and we'll set it up like, I don't know if you know this game, but Bozo buckets, right?
No.
It's like from an old, it's before my time. I just know it from beer pong.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's three buckets in a row, and I'll put some sand in the bottom so that doesn't bounce out.
Yeah. Sweet.
And
Okay.
each one's, so basically I paired up with like the most miserable movements we do. So normally like it'll be like thrusters and burpees.
Yeah.
All right. And so if you make it in the first one, you go from like 9 thrusters, 9 burpees down to 6 and 6. If you make it in the second one, you go to 3 and 3. And if you make it in the third one, it's 0. And then every person in the class goes through it. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll give them like 3 shots or something like that. And a similar situation where it just knocks off the top. And so you just basically cycle through, that determines how much work you do. But it makes if you do it with the worst movements possible, it's like one of the only, in my opinion, I hate thrusters. It's one of the funnest ways to do thrusters. If there is such a thing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, thrusters have been low on my faves list for sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad you share that. You're a pretty good squatter too. That makes me feel even better. Let's see here. Yeah, 48 minutes. What else do you we already went over how you break up the age groups. How do you structure the classes? Do you have a set structure, or do you just kind of?
No, we don't have a set structure. I mean, we can kind of do like, we kind of go, I mean, it can change semester to semester based on getting a feel for the group. So, I mean, generally we'll inside of a session, we're going to start with something that's kind of fun and breaks that ice. Cause especially in the 4 or 5-year-olds, like you can just have a day where a kid is kind of at the edge of melting down, doesn't want to be part of the group, like is uncomfortable. And then if you can start with something that's like, gets them excited and fun, then they're like, and they'll get into it and be totally fine. So starting with a game is like always feels good. I mean, right now we've got, we're kind of doing old school stuff with the like 8-9 group and the 10 to 12 group, where we'll go outside and just do classic running pieces. So the first thing we'll do with those group is like, 80% run, high knees, butt kickers, karaoke left, karaoke right, 90% run, broad jumps, single leg jumps, and then 100% run. And then move into some throwing catching piece and some more running. And then we'll hit a hard skill piece. So that format's been pretty good this semester, with just like getting into like for the 8-9-year-olds, that's going to be sort of, then we'll goblet squat or like kettlebell sumo deadlift. And then we'll do some kind of like stations workouts have been pretty fun this semester, where they're pretty happy to like go through some kind of like course where we're going to do stuff like, 10 count hang into a sled. Like we did sled drags last week out in the yard. So we line up all the sleds with ropes, and they do hand over hand or like grab and drag it. And then some like jumping stuff. Agility ladder I rarely use, but we're starting to work it in as just a piece that's easy to incorporate between stations. And we're at a level where I'll put like X's on like the movement, like whatever it is, like feet go here on the X's, and coordinate that with like, and then some squats, and then finish with some kind of like midline, which is for the most part these days like a plank. And then mobility if we've got time, and then if there's extra time, we'll hit another game. Okay. But that format has been pretty good this semester. There's been times where like you have a really high level. Like last fall, we had a pretty solid group of 10 to 12. And so we were doing breakouts where we would go to like, we'd have like 5 different stations and like 2 or 3 kids at each station. And one station would be bench press. One station would be some of the machines, because they just get excited about like hopping on the like runner and stepper and ski erg and stuff like that. So we'll have a station of like doing 3 rounds, minute each on each one of those. Sumo deadlift with a barbell. And we have a bunch of like those kind of stations. They kind of move through those, and then being able to break that group out into from a group of 12 where it can be a little mayhemy down to like 2 or 3 at each station. And then having assistant coach and secondary coach was really great. Like it really moved the needle. And then we started the winter semester that same way, and it just didn't land at all. Like it just wasn't working. They were over it. And we had to like I'll be like, man, because by the time we got to Christmas, I'm like, man, I have got this button.
Yeah, you're like,
I felt
man,
so good about it. What
so
a great
awesome.
coach. Yeah, totally. Yeah. And then the first 2 weeks of January, I was like, this is a nightmare. Like this isn't working at all. And we had to like fully switch. So, I mean, it really just depends. And I mean, it's not even necessarily we had a big change of kids between those 2 semesters. Like we see very few kids like draw, like our teens class really only open spots as kids graduate. Or they move away. Like we just don't, we have an extremely low turnover. But it just, sometimes they just grow older, and what they liked last time is not what they are interested in at all. And I mean, honestly, I don't care so much how we go about it, so long as like they're having a fun time. Learning the gym is like a fun place to be and having a good experience with that. And then getting some good, solid, hard work in. Because the rest of the pieces fall in place anyway. Like we don't get too crazy on being technical with, like, we want to get as much movement buttoned up as we can, but like being able to teach a like 8-9-year-old how to barbell squat so you can post it on like Instagram of like razzle dazzle everyone with a 9-year-old who's got a 25 kilo back squat. You're like, I mean, irrelevant. Like they're going to
cover that in their first day of the teens, or
totally. Yeah, that's exactly. Like you see those kids who are like really struggling in preteens, and they're not picking it up, or they're not interested in it. And 2 weeks in the older kids group, they rise to the occasion and are moving well. And the other kids then who have been there all the time, like are also participating and helping them be like, hey, you need to do this, or like, push, get your knees. Everyone knows the cues, right? And you wiggle your toes at the bottom of the squat, like, squeeze that bar, like all these sort of things. So I mean, I love it. Like it's really great that way. So a lot of times it's just like adjusting and making sure that like you're meeting those primary pieces, like safe, fun, basic principles and concepts. We've done well with that.
Yeah. No, I like that. I really think the, you saying that, you had like this thing really figured out, and then just, the next session, it was like absolute trash for them. And
like, it's
over.
I
just got to change it,
Yeah.
I think we've encountered that a couple times too, where we're like, man, we're, this is great. And then all of a sudden it just falls apart and you're like, what, cause a lot of cause we're learning now, we're putting our kids into programs, right? And a lot of the programs that we put our kids in, they're just set programs, rinse and repeat. They're going to do this over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And so we've been fairly creative in the way we handle stuff here, but probably still not as creative as we need to be, I guess you could say.
It's I mean, that's like similar to CrossFit and Conjugate. I think creativity is a real balance. So creativity is like a really cool opportunity you get in all 3 of those programs. But it also can be a failure to give the opportunity to properly adapt and learn stuff as well.
Yeah.
So like enough creativity, the stimulus changes enough that it keeps, I mean, that kid at the adult level, it's like continue to evolve the stimulus to continue to force adaptation. At the kid level, it's continue to evolve the stimulus to continue to draw interest in that and keep them attentive and like locked in.
Yeah, because sometimes the repetitions, but the focus on the repetitions too, right?
Yeah, totally. And trying to find that sweet spot and balance. Like there's stuff where like, I mean, I a while ago I built a like kid-sized worm for like the CrossFit Games week. So I use like a giant roll of black plastic and like I think we did buckets and then wrapped them in towels. I brought like every towel I had from home and blanket. I made this big elaborate worm that was totally reasonable for those little kids to use. And I was like, this is going to be the best ever. And they hated it. It was a complete miss. And I was just like, oh, okay. And then other times we just had one day where I was like, man, I just don't have a great piece for this. I was like, well, what if we use the dog sleds and the like Ellen, who I coach the kid stuff with, what if the coaches are the shepherd the kids across the river Styx. So they do a lap and they get to the river crossing and they have to wait until the boat is back. And then everyone gets on the dog sled and the coach pushes them across. We ran out of time before we ran out of interest in that. Like they could hardly work fast enough to get through all the stations. to get back to being pushed across the river.
That's awesome.
You spend your time drawing crocodiles and octopus and what else is in this river? Like, okay, we got starfish, we've, crab and you're just like, man, that was like the last minute made up off the top of the head. And yeah, it's just really paying attention to the kids, right? Like playing with them seems like, that's the thing is they do seem to be like, they love it when the coach is engaging with them and like, kind of like you're working the play and like, and you're excited about it too. And so there's like, that balance and just like being aware, like sometimes it gets really frustrating when you're like, oh, no one's interested in this, or they're not paying any attention. Well, and that's where you're like, well, how big is your toolbox? Because if you're like, okay, stop it, let's switch gears, let's do this other thing. And we switch and do something else fun and you can nail it. And other times you're just going to lose. And you do the best you can. And that's with dealing with kids, or at least how I found it.
No, that's a great advice. I mean, that's great advice for anybody. We kind of brushed over 2 questions I have that you kind of hit. One, when do you introduce the barbell?
Yeah,
we currently don't do it at all in our kids class because there's just so many other tools you can use. But
yeah, totally. I mean, kettlebell, that's probably the best use of kettlebells is like some of the kid stuff, like we do a ton of kettle farmers carries and stuff like that are so good. And we use a kettlebell for like sumo deads and goblet squats and those sort of pieces as well. So that's predominantly what we'll use for 8, 9. And then as we get into that 10 to 12 group is where we're starting to get some barbell time in. So right now, this spring semester, we've been doing like squat, bench, dead, one of those each week. So last week we did deadlifts. And I think this coming week will be back to bench press. And we're just introducing in a way that just gets a little bit of like touch time. So it's like of the 45-minute class, we're probably spending less than 10 minutes on it. And we'll just work triples. And right now in that group, we've got like 3, like myself and then 2 assistant coaches. One of them is a high school kid and the other's my lifting partner who kind of like step in. And so we've got we've maybe got 3 or 4 kids at 3 stations and then 3 coaches. So it's been pretty fantastic to get like some good solid movement in coaching and stopping them from like making terrible choices. Yeah. Like, put the heaviest plate they can pick up and barely get to the bar. Like, okay, let's just stick to 5-pound jumps. And no one needs to die today.
So, and that's just on just one of your classes each week, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the teens is all barbell. So
okay.
The teens class is barbells every day.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
And another question I had that you kind of covered it a little bit, but what do you do when kids, kids are kids and they have good days and sometimes they have bad days? What do you do on the bad days? If they're, they lose a game and they're having a hard time or whatever, just let them kind of sit off to the side and wait till they recover and are ready to join, or?
We're a little more traditional still with that sort of stuff. So we're running lines.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
so they're, I graduated in the 90s.
Yeah.
So and it seems from my experience so far that things that work then still work pretty good now.
Yeah.
So, and we've had some good experiences actually overall. Like there's been what was a funny one I had a couple of weeks ago? Yeah. Just one of the kids in the 8, 9 group was just like decided it was like fart noises day. And I was just going to do that the whole time. And I was like, after like 30 minutes of it, I was like, nah. Like, I was like, stop.
That's a long time.
Yeah. And I was just like, go sit on the stairs. And I just put him like, I can't set up I was like, I'm not setting him up for like, so I just removed him from the group because then it sets a tone for the rest of the group.
Because next thing you know, every's got their fart noise.
You'll lose the whole group, right? It's a drop of ink in a glass of water. Like it becomes a problem quick enough. Right. And I
love that.
I heard the other coach. I heard the other coach talk with him. And he's like, well, I didn't even get a warning. And she's like, yeah, I mean, you're not necessarily going to get a warning here.
Well, yeah. Well, 30 minutes is there's a lot of leeway in 30 minutes to
totally like you had your chance.
Yeah.
And
I gave you laughs for 25 minutes ago.
Totally. now this happens, but I had a kid in the, and it gives a chance. I mean, it also gives you a chance to see how they respond to that kind of thing, because it also shows I mean, one of the best pieces I had last winter was a kid who's just like just couldn't manage losing, and lost a game. I think we were playing like pizza tag, which is just like the like ab mat in your hand, and so it gets his knockdown, and then it's kind of being a bit sucky, like just smacking at other kids like as he's walking out. And I was like, hey, and I was like, don't do that. And he kept doing it. I was like, okay, stop. And I was like, called one of the other coaches over who was just training. And I was like, set up 2 cones in the yard, and you can come back in when you've got 100 lines done.
Oh man. All right.
He was out there for a while.
Yeah.
The coach was like 100. And then I realized like, oh, that's probably too many, but I gotta stick to my guns.
Yeah.
And so he went out there, and he was out there for a while, and came back in, and I mean, straight to me, it was just like, I was being silly, and I apologize, and I won't do it again.
Oh man.
And that was the end of it. And for me, that's the end of it too. Like, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, you're not gonna harbor resentment for any time after
forget
that.
it.
You're like,
he was being silly. He got tasked based off of that silliness, and then got it sorted out. Now I've done that with the teens too. I've had some teens go out there and run lines for a while in the background while everyone else is like lifting for just being silly, and they're giving me the stink eye from out in the yard. You're like, it's all the same to me. You're getting fitness either way. And I mean, some of those kids have gone on to be like some of my favorite kids I work with. Yeah. Because they kind of like snap in line and come around.
Well, and that's a part of sports too, or at least it used to be.
Totally. Yeah.
I mean, I can remember.
You need to be able to take the good and the bad. And I mean, I'm going to hold you accountable for your behavior.
Yeah. They think that's bad. We used to have to run suicides. It was like,
oh yeah,
1 for every D on the team and 2 for every F. And so you could have one kid alone have like 5 Fs, and you got 10 suicides because it was cumulative. Yeah. And oh my gosh. I think down here back then it took 2 weeks for a kid to get kicked off the team. Yeah. So you could just have 2 weeks of starting practice with misery, waiting for kids to get kicked off the team, being like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to make it. Like,
but the thing about that though, is you remove, and I don't know, again, like I'm not I mean, I'm just doing what I do in the best way that makes sense. And I'm always stoked to see, for all the complaints that people have about like this generation and, this generation's not as tough as the last. You're like, yeah, maybe, but just like every other generation, you're going to have people who rise to the occasion. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have a bunch of goofballs, but those goofballs might turn out to snap in line and be awesome. And you just don't totally know. And it's not worth writing off anybody, and it's worth giving a chance. And sometimes inside those lessons of like go and run lines is like, oh, they've never been because I mean, it feels like a little bit of the game is that what was that old sheepdog and the coyote? And so the Looney Tunes sheepdog that sits up on the hill and they both punch in. And sometimes I feel like that's what you're doing. Like you're both punching in, and it's the coyote's job to try to get away with the sheep. So it's a kid's job to push on the limits, and it's your job as the sheepdog to show them where the edges are.
Yeah, keep it within the limits. Yeah. No, that's true. And that's the other thing. Being tough is you have to be given the opportunities to be tough as well. I mean, people, I'm sure since the start of time, you go back to the Stone Age, they were probably like back, these kids are not as tough as
100%.
And I think everybody's probably similarly tough. You just evolve in different ways, and
well, an opportunity to rise to the occasion.
Yeah,
like there's times where you're like, and maybe every generation's a little softer, but that is also the course of history. I mean, my generation. I mean, I was born in 81. I mean, you think about people born in the 60s being like, yeah, this like 1980s generation is way softer. You're like, yeah, probably true. Like we're probably way softer, just like they're softer than the 1940s generation. Like, I mean, that just might be how things go.
Yeah. No, I think it's a give and take. I think there's people get tougher in certain ways. Like, I don't know, like today, the hustle culture for people having a job and extra jobs on the side, like that's insane.
Yeah, totally.
but also I don't know if we anymore possess the ability to work 40 years at a single job, punch the clock and show up, like, so we've gotten softer in some areas and tougher in others. So
yeah, I'd agree with that. I think I think in other ways you push the limits now in very different ways than before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's people, I mean, there's always people working super hard.
Yeah.
And there's always kids out there who are fantastic and just waiting for the opportunity to rise to the occasion. I mean, I definitely struggled through high school to be like good in classes and not be a menace and struggle to get through it. And I mean, my opportunity became like a very special job at Wildland Fire, where I had that chance. I feel like I had that one chance to like rise to the occasion to meet the challenge. And I did it, and I changed my outcome entirely.
Yeah. Yeah. And it scratched your itch. And like you said, kids, they develop at different times. And so, I mean, I'm similar. I was a complete turd, both in classes and probably in some sports too. In fact, I got kicked off the baseball team my freshman and sophomore year.
Yeah.
For like grades, but also like I was just bad attitude, not doing the right things. And then I got my diet on track, and I ate healthy, worked out, and then eventually was a pretty decent baseball player because of it.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody would have seen that coming. And lucky I had a great coach who I had on quite a few episodes ago that gave me a good chance and helped me learn and everything else like that. So
that's the thing. Like I think about that all the time with those kids' classes. Like, man, imagine getting the opportunity to be that coach or that, because I think about like, a shop teacher I had in high school, and just mentors I've had along the way through my time at Wildland Fire and those sort of pieces. Like, I mean, even as I got into this and started like owning, like had a gym and the mentors I had who opened the door and gave me opportunities that otherwise I would never have got to where I've gotten to. I was like, that chance to like pay that forward and maybe help someone else figure that out, and have that chance and find their fitness or find out how fitness applies in their life. Or, I mean, the idea of getting a kid an opportunity to go be at the Olympics or play a sport that pays for their school past high school, or just gives them a long life of like healthy association with fitness. Like, I mean, man, what a cool calling, right?
Yeah, no. And just, I mean, I tell this all the time, and I've had parents who've come up to me and said stuff recently, but sports eventually will fade away. Right. But fitness and appreciation for things that you can do in the gym can be forever. And so it's such a special thing to be able to teach kids to enjoy it, and that it's just a part of life. And then it will help everything else. Right. And also enable them to play sports for longer.
Totally.
I'm sure you guys are kind of similar up there in that we down here in the States, we tend to be like sport first, train later. Right. As opposed to, I know, like, I don't know. And this may be just a bunch of bull roar that I'm quoting, but in like Russian countries and stuff like that, China, they're like, no, you train so you can play sport. You don't, like it's not the sports are not training. We kind of think of sports as the training, but turn 30 and you pull your hamstring during a pickup basketball game, and you quickly realize that it's not the training you thought it was.
Yeah, I think that is slowly shifting. I mean, when you get into like Russian like rule of threes, or starting off with like base layer GPP and then slowly figuring out which direction you're heading for sport as you sort of come into your own and you've been tested through those like physical and mental challenges that they kind of put in front of you. I think that sort of piece is such a great opportunity for like, I mean, that's why I love the gym earliest on as possible, because it just gives that kid a chance to like that very base level. I mean, even with the elite athletes that I occasionally get to work with, a lot of times you're doing the same stuff. It's just going back to the principal basic pieces, because they've been like, blah, blah, blah. Like everyone does that. I do this very specialized, unique brand of jumping that no one else does. And it's just for hockey, or it's just for UFC fighters. And so people get sucked into this, especially now with social media. Well, oh, I saw, my opponent is doing, slam ball. And you're like, yeah, I mean, okay. Like, fine. I mean, how much is slam ball moving the needle? You're like, or how much of that are they doing? It's like one exercise. Like, what are you doing? Four sets, 6 sets, 8 sets, a couple minutes worth of them. Like, okay, like it's a thing, but people get sucked into like, this is like hyper specialization, but they're missing the fact you're like, I mean, what is your basic simplest patterns for producing force through the hips? Like, what is your basic like pressing patterns? Do you have full range of motion on joints? Like, where's your rotational weakness? Like, there's so many opportunities to just like move the needle by, large margins off of just going back to basic pieces. And I think that, I think with sport in North America, it feels like it was a lot of time spent, just do your sport and you're fine. And then it's like some of the like jocks go down to the gym and train a bit. And I feel like that's shifted. I mean, you've seen the needle move quite a lot. I mean, man, when I was first working one-on-one with her, there was none girls who were BMX who had heavy deadlifts. And now like the squats and deadlift numbers, I mean, there's 140-pound girls pulling 400 deadlifts who are racing BMX.
Yeah.
And you're like,
that's wild.
Like that wasn't a thing 10 years ago. And so that really has moved, which is really exciting. I mean, it's making the game harder because now you're like, I mean, before we used to kill it with kids because you're just like, dude, we just need to get some base strength and you're going to go out there and crush because it's like fielding adult when you're competing against children. And then now that more and more people are on it, the whole level is much higher. I mean, I feel like a lot of sport right now is really moving for how competitive it is,
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, I'll let you get going. I know we were supposed to keep this around an hour, and we're already at almost an hour and 15 with.
Oh yeah, no, I do this all the time.
Yeah, I could chat this stuff up, never ending. So I'm always like, we could cover one more thing, and I'm like, we'll cover it on the next one.
Yeah, no stress at all. You edit out whatever you want. Don't worry about hurt. I won't have hurt feelings. I get rambly.
Yeah, no, it's great. I love it. And I can't, I'd like to have you on again. And I've got 50% of my questions were covered. So we still got plenty more to cover. But thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you sharing your knowledge. And anytime you're willing to come on, I'd be happy to have you.
Cheers, man. Yeah, thanks. Call anytime. I appreciate you reaching out.
Yeah. And then if people want to look you up, see what stuff you're doing, where can they find you?
Oh, probably best just on my Instagram. So I've got my personal Instagram, and that one I try to put up like some of the athletes that I work with, and I post on there more like, here's a movement to try, those little circle highlights, whatever they are. I've got like an uppers, lowers, midline one. If you're looking for like ideas for one-off movements, I put up some of the equipment we build and stuff like that on there. So my personal Instagram is like trying to be helpful to people. And then the Squamish Barbell one is more community culture driven. So if you want to see like, dodgeball, biathlon, the obstacle course stuff, I mean, some of the weirder things we do are in the history of that, those posts, but either those places. And you can also, if people have questions or anything like that, I actually do get back to everyone who reaches out. So just DM.
Yeah, I can confirm because I was just a random person messaging you. I don't know, probably like 3 years ago or something like that. Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, thanks for coming on. And,
my pleasure. Stoked.
Appreciate your time.
Thanks, man.
Thanks everybody for listening. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I'll try to edit some of that out. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe, and don't forget, more protein, less bullshit. Thanks, guys.